your
like
beard is looking very like styled.
No, I have I got a beard brush now.
Okay, so you can be one of those cool people that just like.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a hipster.
Nice. Do you get oh my goodness.
Myself.
You yeah, it's just very, I don't know, man. I know actually today I ended up getting I didn't get anything like a beard brush. I just picked up garden soil and like mulch, and I just put it on my front like little
the beard
area.
For your yard.
The beard for my yard, exactly. Or the beard for the what is it? The deck?
Home.
Yeah.
The deck beard.
The deck beard.
That's a good pirate name.
Deck beard.
Deck beard. He's just
I like that.
No, I just ran out of like my beard butter and like beard shampoo like at the same time, and I got it as a gift, but it's like one of those things where it's like you get it as a gift and you don't realize that it's going to become like essential to your everyday maintenance.
Yeah.
And then you go to buy it again and you're like, holy shit. It's like $30.
Oh, I got new pants. Sorry, just talking about like $30 and how expensive things are. I got new shorts for the gym.
My boy.
Because we're going to the gym now, which is pretty great. Yes. Oh yeah, we're in the future right now. Sorry, I didn't even start with that. Like, this is recorded.
These games in the past.
yeah. We lost some episodes, so this is the second episode that we have to redo, but that's okay.
The second in a 3-part series.
Yes, but we will get them all done, and then we'll get back on track, man.
So it's like one of those. I got it, and I did not realize until it was in my Amazon cart, because it is a beard oil, shampoo, and butter. $50.
Oh my god.
$50. I'm like,
but how long does that last? Because if it'll last like a month or two, then you're looking at like what, $1 a day?
I got the set that just ran out because I like nickeled and dimed it for so long, probably went past its like expiration date.
Oh,
I made it last for like 2 years,
dude. So I'm sorry, $50 for like even if it only lasts a year, it's worth it. It's fine.
But then I got the brush on top of that from the same company that does the oil and the butters and stuff, and so that like the whole order was like $75, but it's like a nice like it's like a boar hair brush, and it's like, as you can see, like it kind of helps.
It very much, because when I saw it, it was much more like, I thought you either like trimmed it or like shaped it in some way, and like.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. Like I'll just brush it in the morning. Like if I brushed it up, it'd be like a little shelf, and it'll just stay like that. And I'm like,
why is that? Is that just like because beard hairs are more wiry?
I think it may just be my beard, because there's a lot of people out there who somehow have hair on their chins that is like the hair that's on top of my head, where it's like long and wispy. Like,
I kind of don't like that. Yeah, no, that sounds uncomfortable.
For me, it is literally just a neck full of pubes.
Oh god.
Yeah. But there are times where I feel like my pubic hair is like more soft. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I do have Manscaped, man. So. Speaking of it, I have this talking about like daily routine stuff. I have shaved my nose hairs before because I have the nose trimmer, right? And I'd used it once, and then it was just so irritating to have all these little hairs that like were growing in. And like I would like brush my nose, and I'd be like, "Oh, that hurts. I don't like that. It's uncomfortable. It makes me want to sneeze." And then I decided, like a couple weeks ago, I'm like, I'm gonna try doing this, but on a more regular basis, right? I'm not just gonna do it and then wait a month and then do it again once it's irritating. Yeah. I'm gonna do it like once every couple of days and just shave a little bit. And honestly, it's not that uncomfortable, because like you just do it over time, and if you do it regularly enough, it doesn't become an issue.
I haven't really shaved my nose hairs just because I feel like they don't get long. There have been times where like my mustache has got like there's like one little wispy bit that like just
curls
right up
up
there. And I swear I'll be at work sometimes and I feel like probably people think I'm on crack or some sort of hard drug trying to get my fix. Like, I'm always just kind of like like it got to the point like it happened like a week or two ago and I went to the bathroom, stared myself directly in the mirror and like was like, where are you, motherfucker? And I had to like pluck it there and then. But it's insane of like how much of like something like that could be considered like almost like a hobby almost.
Okay.
Like you know,
like keeping up with your appearance and stuff. Yeah.
Which is it's like kind of nuts to me. So it's like it falls into that category of niche hobby. I'm like so it's like beard grooming is like that's a hygienic thing.
It is,
but like
it's
also
still
at the
a hobby
same time,
though.
but it's also still a hobby. It's like if you choose to have a beard, you're buying tools to like maintain it, to shape it, to clean it. So like to me, that's a hobby. It's the same thing as like if you dye your hair. Sorry, that's a hobby to me because you can buy special shampoos that are tinted with hair color that prevent the hair color from fading.
Is that how that works?
Like there are some like conditioners. Like I know my girlfriend, she has like when she does blonde to prevent the hair to get what they call in the business brassy, where it's like the blonde, like the bleach gets like a little bit orange.
Yeah.
They call it purple shampoo.
I've seen the purple shampoo.
And it is a shampoo that has specifically like ingredients of hair dye in it that prevent it from like brassing, from oranging up. And it's fascinating. It's like it's a really cool science.
That's really interesting. Now, are you ever considering getting dyed hair?
Courtney and I have joked about it. She's like, what if you do like a really dark brown? I'm like, I've always kind of wanted to do like the Aaron Hansen with like the dark brown with a bright blonde streak.
Okay.
But like to me, I've gone most of majority of my life without dyeing my hair. I dyed my hair once, and this is gonna sound really stupid, but my brother would shave his head and then dye his hair so it would grow in that color, essentially. Or like the tips of it. It was like a way to get frosted tips.
Okay.
Or like cut his hair. So when I was younger, my haircut, I would get a buzz cut, and I dyed my hair blonde. And I
bet it looked bad.
I was already a blonde kid. It didn't even look like nothing changed.
You should go color, man.
Yeah. If this podcast, if we ever get 200 followers on our YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, YouTube. I was gonna say.
We get 200 YouTube subscribers, I will dye my hair.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
That is a goal. Put that one on your fucking TikTok world.
Hell yeah.
Put 200, that one out there.
That's all we need? I'll call up all my friends, dude.
What a small price to pay for salvation. Because like also another thing too is like I think we talked about it like last time, but like the New Year's resolution and stuff. But like I feel like tattoos are considered like hobbies.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you're taking the time and money into something, that is a hobby to me. And if it brings you joy.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. But have there been like any hobbies that you are like you really consider getting into, but you know damn well you'll never succeed? So you just leave it to people that are professionally better than you?
I would say honestly, lately it's been in my brain, the back of my mind is like tattooing. Like I get it that's something like you were just mentioning, but legitimately I was like, yeah, there's tattoo guns. You can get tattoo guns. You can get the ink. You can get test strips to like tattoo, and I'm like, it'd be kind of cool. Skin. Yeah, really freaky, right? Yeah. Imagine coming into my house and just got this like square of fake skin.
Square of fake skin and oranges with just ink all over them.
Oh yeah. But like legitimately, I thought
if you're not good at it, I'd let you tattoo me.
Yeah, and I think it'd be fun to tattoo my friends. It'd be fun to touch up my own tattoos. It'd be like
right.
that is definitely a hobby, because I don't think I'd ever be good at it. Dice making is one thing that I started. I haven't done it much because like I'm not opening the windows for ventilation when it's it's below freezing.
Winter?
I'm not doing that. Yeah. So once it gets a little bit warmer, I'll start doing more of it. But like that's something that I doubt I'll be good enough at to actually like sell or anything. But it's honestly, it's cool to make. It's exciting to see it come out.
The way you described it to me before is like it's a cool process. It's like, and there's been several times I found myself on a dice making TikTok or dice making like YouTube, and it's like it's nuts to me because I'll just be like, whoa.
Yeah, I need to get better molds though, because they're like they started tearing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That was on me. You continue.
But yeah, no, they've started tearing at like the little seams, so there's little bumps, and now I'm like now I'm getting to the point where like it is a fun hobby. How much can work be though, right? Like, so doing the hobby, when does it stop being a hobby and feel more like you're just working hard at something with little payout? For me, I don't want to sand down these dice. Right. I don't. That's not an amount of work that I'm willing to put into this hobby.
That's where I was with like 3D printing, but I'm also like I want a different 3D printer than what I currently have, and so I'm like, but I know that one would involve even more work than my simple.
So you have the filament printer, right?
I have resin printing right now.
Oh, okay, resin is.
But I want to go into filament printing.
Really?
But yeah, but filament printing is like the one where you actually kind of have to get like the sanding, and you have to you could do a lot more bigger stuff, less detailed stuff, but it's a lot more like physical, like demanding like cleanup. Whereas like with resin printing, I had the automatic cleanup station, so all I really had to do was just dunk dip and away I went.
And I know with resin printing, there are no like print lines really. Like the resolution of the print is so good. And
if you really hone in your machine, well, like a lot of filament ones have gotten better about it. Like and it's insane if you just like take the time. Like if you want to get a big print out, there's going to be layer lines. But again, big prints you can just take some wet sandpaper too and just go hog wild. But the one hobby that I've always been interested in, it's because I went to high school with a guy who did it professionally, but professional yo-yoing. I caught myself looking at like metal yo-yos the other day, and I was like, damn, what if? Like, I found myself onto I think that it all started because I was like on TikTok, and this guy was doing like, can you do modern day yo-yo tricks with an old school yo-yo?
Okay.
And the yo-yo basically broke because he was like putting too much stress on it. But because like the new ones are like almost like a carbon fiber, like almost carbon steel, like really dense motherfucker of a.
Does it rip the like string?
So like with the old school yo-yo, the way the tricks are, so like this is what she said, but the slit on a traditional like old school like 1960s yo-yo, we'll just say good old radio flyer. It's like the core and the plastic and the weight can't hold up to the force that is needed to do some of the modern tricks. So like a way of like the newer ones, like just in weight comparison alone, is almost like some of these yo-yos can be like 2 to 3 pounds.
Oh my god.
Professional grade yo-yo.
That's insane. That's so hefty.
I went to school. I actually got suspended my senior year with this guy. And
for yo-yo tricks?
No, we made memes.
Oh my goodness, I can tell you're on Google and stuff. Your face is just so white right now.
What is 65.8 grams?
You have Google open. You could just do grams to pounds. What are you talking about?
I thought you could have just I thought you knew.
I don't know. No, you think I know anything? Nah, I don't know anything. I'm not a smart man. I've got certain niche.
All right, maybe I was light too.
Were you
this yo-yo here? This yo-yo I'm looking at here says it's only 65.8 grams, which only that doesn't even line up to a pound. But it's fine. It's cool.
Well, because you were talking about like modern day yo-yos, and I thought they would be lighter than the previous ones, because the previous ones would be made out of wood, I'm assuming. And then like the original OG yo-yos, and then the more recent ones, since they're all like carbon fiber and things or whatever you're saying, I feel like they would just be lighter.
I think those are the good bougie ones.
Okay.
But the one I'm looking at least on Amazon, this is probably why it's only 65.8 grams, is because it's aluminum and steel. It's an aluminum body, which again, but when I went to school with this guy, he did it like amateur. Like he would go, he's like, yeah, no, sorry. He's like, if you invited him somewhere on the weekend, he's like, oh, sorry, I got competition. And we're like, for what? And it'd be like, and he would just.
That's so good.
Just like doctors, like imagine Doctor Strange like hand signals, but with a yo-yo instead of magic. It was.
That's crazy. So he was just amateur, and now he's a professional.
I don't know what he does anymore. I haven't talked to him in like a couple of years, but like he had like, how like skateboarders would get like signed on by like the big brand.
Yeah.
Like he had a brand
sponsor
deal.
Okay.
Yeah, he had sponsors and stuff. Like he was getting money for it, and it was crazy. It was just like he's like, yeah, no, I gotta meet with my boys after class. I'm like, what?
My financial boys, what? My sponsors,
my yo-yo boys,
my yo boys. Boyos is so good.
My boyos.
Boyoyos.
Let's get into competitive yo-yoing, and we'll just start our own troop of the boyos.
I like that. Yeah, I'm down. Why not? Let's try it. How about this? You will come over at some point, and we'll do some big thing out here, and you will have a yo-yo, and you'll show off some tricks to everybody watching, and I will try to do those tricks, and I'll fuck up your yo-yo string.
We'll play like horse with the fucking, like with yo-yo tricks. So that's just the one yo-yo. It's like, here's my $50 aluminum yo-yo. Please take care of it.
And then I fuck it all up.
It's okay, guys. I brought my grandpa's Radio Red Flyer yo-yo today. Good. It's a competition.
I think we should do
it. I can walk the dog. Oh, he's running away.
I've been watching some TikToks that were pretty funny. Maybe this is saying something, right? But I'm seeing a lot of TikTok about feet, all right? And yeah, right? But most specifically, it's more like they'll be sitting there and there's this woman walking a dog towards the other girl, and she's like, oh, stay back, my dog's not friendly, my dogs aren't friendly. And then she'll like turn down, it's her foot going up and be like, rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, it's so good. But it's all referring to dogs, but with the feet. Yeah.
I think I've seen one similar with like the muzzle. It's like, I hate having to put muzzles on the dogs at work, and she's like literally at like a veterinary clinic, and she's with the muzzle over her feet.
So good. I think it's a slippery slope though that we tread watching those videos.
Yes, because the longer you watch them, God is like, you ever felt more judged in the eyes of God than when you watched a foot video?
You mean like one with like for legitimate foot fetish, or do you mean just like a video with feet in it?
Just video with feet in it.
No, I don't feel judged by God when I watch those videos. It's in the dark times,
Yeah.
Where they're cracking eggs on them, like How to Basic, right? I felt judged by God when I watched those. I felt judged by
God. I felt judged only because I enjoyed them.
It's so weird on the internet. Like think about it. Like How to Basic was big, right? Everybody watched it. Everybody loved it. It was funny, and then it just fell off. And you've
fell
got
off around
other
the same
things.
time as like Filthy Frank and iDubbbz and like that group, that squad there decided to break off.
I mean, Filthy Frank is now Joji, so he did a good job rebranding.
You hear that, motherfuckers? Pink Guy, that was Joji's real first album.
Honestly, fucking baller. Let's go. I appreciate a lot of the old Filthy Frank stuff, but it's also because, like, granted, today, if you were to make certain things that he did, like, no, in no way would it be acceptable. I don't think he sits there and stands behind most of the things that he made, but it's something that I think you can still appreciate it for what it was in its time. Sort of like the same reason that you have these warnings in front of like old Disney movies where it says, hey, just so you know, there's some imagery in here that we don't agree with, but we're leaving it in to retain
this was a product of its time, and it does not represent the current mindset. And that's fine with me. Like, I'm okay with that more than just the outright, like, the Dr. Seuss thing. Have you seen the Dr. Seuss?
I've seen the one that changed to like Glad Dad, and it's so creepy. What the fuck? I'm like, that dad is gonna murder those kids that night. There's no survival for those kids.
No, man, that book, like, seeing the Glad Dad is like one of my favorite, like why, like, that wasn't needed, but like also I'm kind of glad it exists because now I know horror can transcend into new forms.
Think about it. Why are these people? These are people who said this is too problematic for children to read. So now I'm going to change it to this. And in my mind, it's more problematic, right? And yet somehow in their brain, they're doing some kind of mental gymnastics to justify how it's not scary, it's not creepy. Like, what is going on in their brain?
A group of at least 3 dudes, male or female, were in a room. We're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they signed off on
that's what. Yeah.
And I think the video that I watched, I think it's the same one. It was like almost like it was whited out and crudely like scrawled, and that's what made it even more horrifying. It was just actually in print with like the sans serif font that they had, it wouldn't have been an issue. But no, it was the crude hand drawing that made it seem like some psychopath rewrote this book.
It's like that's the Dr. Seuss creepypasta and SCP content that we've been missing out on over the last couple of years.
Dude, I think it's coming. I think that might be the next thing. We're gonna have Dr. Seuss lore now. Some eldritch god from Dr. Seuss. All the books combined.
Seuss?
Right? All the books combined? They're all in the same like universe?
I think so. I think that's the
I know that the Grinch is a race.
The Grinch is a race, and it's like I know. Oh God, the M Seuss U.
The DSU.
The DSU, the Dr. Seuss universe. Because like Whoville lives on a snowflake. Like that's it. But then there's like also the theory of like the little yellow people from the Lorax. That's not the Lorax, if I'm thinking it correctly. Or am I thinking Horton Hears a Who? Like the really fuzzy people. The kind of people who kind of match the Grinch.
I don't actually know. I don't know. I'm not that deep in the DSU.
No, all right. So let me explain.
I like the name Deep in the DSU.
Deep in the DSU.
I think that's a good one.
That's a good title. Wait, jot that down. There it is, boys. Oh my God, because the thumbnail I just popped in my head.
Yeah. We're cooking.
But the idea of like the Lorax kind of being related to the Grinch, like everything could be connected, but like also like green eggs and ham are Sam I Am, is he a Who? Is he technically a Who? Who knows? But Horton Hears a Who. So meaning that the humanoids in the universe of of the DSU.
I think there might just be little Who's, right? Like the Who's might be on the snowflake or whatever it is, and then you might have bigger Who's.
Those are mountain Who's. Those are mountain Who's.
Exactly. So what if this is all based on real life stuff, and we've got tiny little humans living on snowflakes,
gnomes,
right? We could be the giants in our realm and not realize it.
I was gonna say, yeah, but what we see as like bacteria and
oh shit,
cells and
shit. Think about it, all the bacteria that lives on our bodies is just tiny little humans.
Little tiny men.
Oh my god. You got men on your face. They're tiny and they're walking around.
Every time you get sick, it is literally just the scene from Night at the Museum when Owen Wilson and the tiny little cowboys tie up Ben Stiller.
Oh yeah.
That's how they fight disease, but they're all like kind of like, I guess Osmosis Jones already covered that. Well, humanoid.
Yeah, so I think it would be more so you could have a ton of these little colonies on our face, right? And then when you get sick, it's germs coming in, right? So maybe the germs are basically aliens to them. And now they're waging war on the aliens. So what we've got going on, like a sinus infection, man, we got a ton of little people fighting these aliens. It's like, what was it? Super Troopers? Starship Troopers? Yeah.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part too.
And it's just...
Instead of bugs, it's just germs, and there's like little UNC Marines from Halo on my face.
So good. And they're just everybody with acne is like, there's a huge war happening in that one area. They've dropped nukes and stuff, and they're just trying to blow it up. Those microplastics in our blood? Yeah, we didn't do that. Nah, that was the little people.
It's the little people. That's the little Master Chief that I took.
Exactly. Because they're just dumping all their waste they're producing into our bloodstream. Why not? It's a stream. It's a river.
Oh no, they're polluting my Nile.
Oh no.
The Nile River flows. We must conquer at its head.
Well, imagine if it actually is like that, right? And let's say the world is sort of like a living creature. I'm not saying like there are bigger versions of us, but more like if the world is like a creature, and then somehow we find a way to communicate it, even if it's rudimentary. Imagine if it was flipped the other way, though, and we've got these little creatures on us, and they're all able to learn how to communicate to us in some way. We just get some mental, like, maybe then that's what nightmares are. Maybe that's them, like, sending things.
It's the little people sending and manifesting.
That's what I call little nightmares. That's why we get nightmares.
Turns out the mitochondria of the cell was just some dude named Doug.
I like the idea, though. It's more like it is the powerhouse of the cell, but it's like in their view, it's a factory, and there's just people that go in to work every day. Where are you going, honey? Well, I'm just going to the mitochondria.
Have you seen that recent movie with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles? The like Yes, Hello, Darling, or Yes, Darling?
I don't even know what that is.
All right, so spoiler alert.
Oh no!
In that movie, they're in a simulation, but the idea is it is for incel men to like trap their wives in a like in the simulation. So like Florence Pugh's character, she is like tied to the bed and her eyelids are like forced open. So like every day, like routine, he has to like put eye drops in her to make sure she's in the simulation.
Fuck?
Yeah. So but basically the whole premise is all the dudes, like all the husbands, go off to work. And Chris Pine, his character, is like the founder of this project.
Okay.
And so it's like every day, it's like it's all set in this like rural town in Nevada, and like all the men go home for work. But basically, they can't discuss what they do, but it's because they're logging off. Like they're leaving the simulation to go do their everyday jobs or like everyday lives while their wives are stuck in home, basically in a comatose state. So that's the big twist. But that's my brain jumped to that idea with the mitochondria, where it's just like, oh, goodbye, honey.
Okay.
They just go to the mitochondria for the day, leaving their wives behind. But it's like not knowing what they really do. Like not even the cells know what the mitochondria is, but only we do.
I like that. Yeah.
The whole movie was weird and kind of easily kind of predictable.
Very weird.
But like
you said, Chris Pines was in it.
Yeah, Chris Pine was in it, and Harry Styles. Like a big cast, like a pretty big cast. I watched it. Me and Cordy, we went for her birthday. We went and seen it, and the ending was kind of predictable because purely it was like one of those things where like she was like understanding of like what was on the outside kind of thing. She was like, oh, and then I got COVID literally the same night. So like the movie gave me COVID. But the idea of toodaloo, honey. Oh, honey, where are you going? I can't tell you. It's important business.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's every person's dream, though. I like to me, I'm like, I don't want any of the bad stuff, but my dream would live in, what is it, the 60s or 50s or whatever, when one person could provide for their whole family and everybody was happy. Like, yeah, I want to go back to those
economics times. Was actually good.
It was very good. That's why I'm getting trickled on by the government. Let's go.
Yeah. It was a golden shower in the 60s. Now it is just a trickle.
Exactly. No, it's just like, I think that's what everybody really would like. Because, I'm sorry, I don't even care who would do it. Like, if I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad, I think that's perfectly reasonable, you know? We've had our time. Why don't we let women be the breadwinners, bring home all the dough? You and me taking care of the babies, and then on our free time.
I ain't no feminist, but the women can do all the work.
Yeah.
Let them have it.
Yeah. They want power? Go ahead. Be the president. I don't care. You want to work? You make more money than me? Sure, make 3 times as much. I'll stay home. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll do the dishes.
Yeah. Dude, the greatest part is, though, now we have dishwashers. Which, think about this for a moment. How many things in our lives have been automated to the point where having a stay-at-home parent isn't always, like, the best option? Right? Because, like, doing the dishes, vacuuming, doing all these things that, like, back in the day, they didn't have all this technology for. Cooking with a microwave, like, you can cook full meals now in the microwave. Like, it's nothing.
Hey, Factor, if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, right? But it's like, you can do all this stuff, and it's gotten to the point where, if anything, people shouldn't have to work as much. But for some reason, the only way to be actually, like, surviving is to have at least 2 people in like, a family working a full-time job.
Yeah,
it's insane to me.
It's sometimes like 3 people. But then if it works, what's wrong? Why not?
Like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing that everybody's working. Like, that's not a bad thing at all. Because we do have all these amenities that make everything easier. Dishwashing, fucking washing your clothes, drying your clothes. Like, all these things have been automated to the point where, like, we have to do barely any work. So, fill up our free time with working? Yeah, sure. But, like, why is it that the amount of money we bring home is, like, taken down by half? At least in, like, percentage-wise, right? Like, buying power is so low. It's insane to me.
And also, it's, like, to the point where it's, like, so automated where they have, like, miniature devices that you can put other places. So, it's like, if you don't have access to those machines, you can. Like a washing machine for your clothes that you could just hook up in your tub.
Yeah.
Your shower, which is insane to me. Like, you tell that to a person in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. They'll be like, wait, you don't have to hand wash stuff? Wait, what?
You don't have to hand wash and put them up on a wire. You don't you don't have to put them in a machine that fits in a little bit of a closet and your clothes kinda come out damp. What do you mean?"
You remember the good old days when the mothers would hang the sheets that got peed on to shame their children? Ah, the good old days.
What?
You didn't know about that? Well, it was like more of a threat kind of thing, where if a kid was like later in age, right, and he pees like the bed, if the kid was misbehaving, it would be like, I'm gonna hang those out when I dry, and it's like you would just have these pee stained like sheets that you'd hang up. I don't know if that's a legit thing, but that's like from me living the past 29 years. That's something that's like I've heard from people.
Carol, little Timmy's still pissing the bed, huh? Yep.
Yeah.
He's 25 now and he just won't stop.
I cannot imagine though hang drying. Like we had a hang dryer. Like we would hang dry when it was very nice. Like at my parents' house. But we also lived like next to farms and stuff nobody could see. Yeah. But imagine being in the suburbs and hanging all your clothes and your underwear and stuff. Wildly uncomfortable.
All my personables. We have a kind of like a community washer and dryer, and I'm always afraid, like, obviously not for myself, but more so for Courtney.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm afraid that like somebody might come in and just steal their underwear.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Because everybody has a key. And it's the same thing with like laundromats too, like a public washer and dryer. I'm always afraid of somebody just coming in and just fucking with my clothes. Like there have been times where we've been a little late on the timer to put the clothes out of the dryer.
And they're out of the washer?
Yeah. Someone has taken the clothes out of the dryer and put them in our basket for us.
Oh, I mean, like, I don't think that's the worst thing.
To me, there's like a 95% chance where I'm like, I'm good, but the other 5% sits with me, and it is like,
that's spooky, man.
What did they take? Yeah,
imagine that spooky man. Somebody's stealing your underwear.
You just bought a new pack of socks, but they're all missing.
Oh yeah, dude, I would love to do that. Think about it. I'm like, I open up the dryer and it's your stuff, and I'm like, score. I just got a ton new socks. Hell yeah. Score.
These underwear look like they're my size, and they're freshly cleaned.
Ugh, it's crazy. They smell it. Smells fresh.
If anybody wants to fucking steal my underwear, you're just putting yourself onto a death wish.
I mean, there was a story I thought about, like, there were issues in, like, some co-ed dorms and stuff at colleges where, yeah, in the laundry area, like, the girls' underwear would get stolen. And, like, there had to be signs put up and stuff. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, as a prank, I can think, like, it might not be the worst kind of prank, right? Like, if I stole your underwear and then I, like, hung it up on your window or something, that's funny to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah, but, like, you know that these people aren't stealing it for that reason. It's not a prank. Or you, like, get the underwear wet and then you put it in the freezer so it freezes. And then you just have it and you, like, give it back to them frozen.
Here's your square pants.
Imagine walking into your room and you've got frozen underwear just on your bed. You're like, what the what?
God, and they've been there for like at least 10 minutes, so like your bed has a little bit of a puddle, and then you're like, and then somebody walks in behind you and you're like, yo, why you got wet underwear on your bed? Like, sock.
So good. Like, so
I
good.
can explain.
Yeah, that's good pranking. That's good pranking.
That is the ideal good pranking because it's not painful, it's just inconvenient.
Yeah. Like, I've seen some people where they'll wrap, like, a car in saran wrap. I don't think that's a good prank. I think that's just annoying. No, because for me, I'm like, the car, I'm almost constantly late. And I constantly want to be able to go places that I want to go. So if I walked out one day and it was surrounded in saran wrap, I would be like, what the fuck? Yes, it's inconvenient, but it's more angering than inconvenient.
The only reason I'm going to defend it because I am that person.
You did
But,
that?
oh, yeah, me and my
Oh.
buddy, my buddy, our actually buddy Gage now, the one who we, play on
Mhm.
Tuesdays with, the Power Ranger. Me and him went to our buddy's work, and he checked us out, and we had a tube of Saran wrap and a pack of condoms that he had to go and get the manager to open for us.
Oh my goodness.
So we looked him in the eye and said, "Thank you." We went out to the parking lot to his car,
Oh my
and we
goodness.
proceeded to fill the condoms with ranch from, like, a McDonald's ranch packet that
Oh my god.
may or may not have been in season,
Oh
um,
no.
and tied him off, and so then we saran wrapped his car, and then we put, like, a layer over the ranch balloons
Mhm.
and proceeded to, like, wrap those in and, like, on the door handles. So if he wanted to try to stab into the door handle to kinda, like, ease his way into, like, a
Why?
good position.
Why? So the thing that I think only makes this prank like really funny, the fact that he checked you out.
Yeah, no, it
That's
was the
what
fact that
actually takes it up a notch.
we looked him in the eye, and he's like, "What are you guys doing with this?" And we're like, "None yet." And then we proceeded to both get a very angry group text message from him.
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me?
He was
But
like, "What the fuck is wrong with you
I can
2?"
see
We're
the
like,
humor. That's like buying tons of toilet paper and somebody's like they check you out and then you just TP their house. Or like a ton of eggs. That is funny because of the fact that like you could have stopped me. You could have like
You had the power.
and it's not even like they could have and kept their job in some way. It's more
Yeah.
just like you still had the opportunity to stop all of it.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, "Man, that's on you." Like, my aunt and my mom got into prank wars all the time.
Really?
Um, yeah, so, like, my aunt started it with saran wrapping my mom's car, and
Okay.
then my aunt went on vacation, and we were kind of, like, responsible for watching over their house, so we had the key. So, my mom got the whole youth group that she was kind of like not count she wasn't like a minister or anything, she just, like, was a volunteer. She was the she was the snack vendor, and so she
Oh,
would
she had
convince
all the
all
power.
yeah, so she convinced all the youth kids to follow her into my aunt's house and TP the entirety of the inside of her.
Oh, that's so good.
And so they, and left it, and my aunt came back and was, like, furious, and my mom has a deathly fear of snakes, like,
Oh.
can't look at a picture of a snake without going, "Ooh," and so
Mhm.
what my aunt did was she bought, like, I don't know if they're still around, but Oriental Trading Company, where you can buy, like, a lot of,
I've
like,
heard
shitty
of that.
it's like it the old school Wish and Geek where you could buy, like,
Yeah.
100 plastic, like, little knickknacks for, like,
Yeah.
20 bucks. So my aunt put in an order for, like, 100 rubber snakes,
Mhm.
and then basically put them on my mom's bed,
Oh,
and
that's so
so
good.
my mom went to go lay down for the night, and all I remember hearing her scream bloody murder and just yelled out my aunt's name, "Stacy!"
Were they so they were inside of the bed?
Yeah, they were inside the
I
bed,
like
inside the
that.
pillow like, underneath the pillows, in the
Mhm.
pillowcases, under the blankets, under the sheets. Like, no matter where my mom, like, was, like, scraping them and cleaning them out, she would always find another one, and you would just hear her, like, gasp every time she found one.
That's so good. That's good pranking, I think.
Oh, yeah,
Where it's not like
slightly
too bad.
inconvenient.
Yeah. Like I like the prank where you wrap somebody's like keyboard and mouse and stuff. They're like you could wrap
Mhm.
their whole setup on their desk. That's funny to me. And I
Like,
like
Christmas time is a
yeah.
great time for, like, the zip tie prank.
What? Zip tie prank?
Yeah, where you, like, zip tie the box together, and then you wrap the zip ties. So it's
Okay,
like
okay. Okay. That's
me
more like yeah, I got you. Yeah. I didn't
me and
know
my
where you were going with that.
no, me and my brother well, he never remembers to get me back, and So like
It's
I
a
went on like a
one-sided
3-year.
prank war.
Yeah, it's a one-sided prank war. I'm really doing good.
Good job. Yeah. Sounds
um,
like bullying, but okay.
no, it's Christmas. It's not, you can't bully
Oh,
people at
okay, okay,
Christmas.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
It's called holiday spirit. Fucking Google it. Um, but no, there's been numerous times where I've like zip tied like 6 boxes, but only one box actually had the real gift in it.
Okay, so they just kept getting like smaller.
So like there was like one big box that had like 4 different boxes in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all zip tied boxes, but only one of them actually had the gift. So they had to open up every box,
Oh,
open
that's
and then
so good.
flip the zip tie and then check to see what it was. And then the year before that, because I think I got a whole shit ton of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I put like it was just a cash Christmas gift, but I put different increments of bills in between boxes and then
Oh,
some in no boxes.
that's good. That's good.
So like, yeah, no, I guess I am bullying. I
You are
love you,
straight up
Evan.
bullying.
I love you, Evan. If you're listening to this, I love you. Did you ever prank like your sister?
Um, didn't really prank, didn't really do that kind of stuff. The
No.
most I ever did was in like college and stuff. There's like not really a prank war, but we like to mess with people. So sometimes I'd come down and my shoes would be like flipped in the wrong direction. So you know, like you go to put on the shoe really quickly in the morning, but it's the wrong foot. And I'm like, what the heck? But all of my shoes kept ending up like that over time. We had this one where I pranked my.
Good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. The only time I got mad was when they were missing. Like, yeah, no, they were just straight up missing, and I was like, guys, where are my shoes? Like where did let's just where I need to know where they are.
Where have they gone?
Yeah, and I'm looking around. They just ended up appearing by the end of the day, but like, yeah, no, because it was a prank by one of my roommates, and that was fine. They're pretty harmless. I pranked my roommate Isaiah back in the day because me and his friend, we all came like this 3 group, very kind of close knit for a while, and we ended up pranking him, making him think that we believed the Earth was flat. And so yeah, so I did so much research for it, and me and my buddy were just like so good, and we were trying not to laugh. But my buddy Isaiah would like get down on the table and like start writing down. I'm like, no, you need to document why you think the world isn't flat. Show me. I'll write it. I'll show you how it's supposed to work. I draw a circle and I show this is where the sun is. This is where the moon is. They're this high off the ground. I'd say all these things, right? So it's pretty believable. Yeah. And we were gaslighting him a little bit because we'd say like, what are you talking about? The world's flat. He's like, oh, good joke. Yeah, I know that's funny. Like, what do you mean? And then he'd be like, the world's not flat. What are you talking about? He turns to his buddy who's like is in on it. He's like, what do you mean? I think the world's flat too. Like, don't disrespect us.
Don't discredit me, man.
And every time though he would go down to start writing down or showing more of a diagram of why we are wrong, we are looking at each other trying not to laugh. And then the moment he comes back up, we just went instantly straight faced. And we were just like talking to him, and that was a good prank. We thought about getting a Ouija board because we were just like joking around about it. And I've
done a good old Ouija board prank with my best friend Megan, and she was like 100% gullible, and I told her like 4 years after we did it, and then the look of betrayal on her face, and she's like, what else have you lied to me about?
Yeah, so good. But yeah, we thought about doing it because we mentioned it once, and then Isaiah was like so spooked. He's like, no, you don't mess with that. You don't mess with the spirits. And I was like, what do you mean we don't mess with the spirits?
You do not mess with the voodoo.
And I was like, no, we're gonna do this. And it just felt a little bit too mean because it was gonna be him walking in to like all the lights we were gonna have off because we knew we wanted to get back from college. And we were going to have just candles lit. We were all going to be sitting there in like dark robes with a Ouija board. And then we would all turn and go like, join us, Isaiah. Join us. And we were going to like freak him out a little bit. He probably wouldn't do it. But then after that, we would mention how we didn't say goodbye. And we've cursed like the house and stuff. And then And then we were going to mess with him where he would leave. We would stack up all the chairs, like sitting normally, but on top of the table. So he would get home, and then we would do it really quick, and then make some loud fucking racket, and then book it so he didn't know we were home. Just to freak him out. Because he thinks he's home alone, and suddenly the chairs are all up, huge clattering bang, no one else is in the house. Like, what are you gonna do? You come downstairs, and the chairs are in completely different thing. If you believe in ghosts, you're gonna be freaked out. Yeah.
Let's invite Isaiah somewhere today and just be like, yo, come on over. And it's just like, hello. It just.
Well, I think I don't actually know where he is right now. I know.
No?
I know he has a kid now. He has. I don't know if he's gotten married yet or even proposed, but he does have a kid. And he's playing, I think it's semi-professional football. If I remember correctly. Or either that, or if it's professional football overseas. Because he was in talks about getting signed overseas. Not for American football, not like the soccer. Yeah. I just, when it's considering overseas, I have to clarify.
No, it's like one of those things where like I feel like I knew what you meant because it's like the wrestling scene in Japan is like nuts.
Is it?
Yeah, like wrestling, like not WWE, but like professional wrestling in Japan,
and not like sumo wrestling, but like
no, like we're talking like your typical like canvas mat ring, three man pin, like because there's like a lot of like NXT, which is like another like off brand of WWE. For like the new wrestlers, but it's like, oh yeah, no, this man was an intercontinental Japanese Japan champion 3 times, and now he's finally joining our ranks here tonight.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool.
So it's like the idea of like world sports is a funny concept to me, but also like not surprisingly outlandish.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that they like that. Oh, there was a TikTok I saw the other day, actually. This like high school wrestler, college wrestler, I don't know who it was, but he had just won, I think, and he's shaking everybody's hands. He goes over to one of the coaches, shakes his hand, and then goes in for a hug, but he's not actually hugging. He grabs him and like flips him over and pins him for the wrestling. And then, and I'm like sitting like, oh shit. He got up, went to do it to the second coach, and when he went to do it, the coach like did like a counter and ended up like throwing the wrestler over and pinning him. So funny. It's so good. The second coach was prepared. And I don't know. I like that.
Oh, that he's like, I'm gonna learn from that motherfucker's mistake.
But I like that kind of energy where there's this like, especially in sports. I don't really watch a lot of sports, but I do like a lot of the energy that is more wholesome, like people having like fun celebrations and different things, and just being very respectful. The people that are like getting all upset, I'm like, my dude, you're throwing a ball.
I only like when people get upset when it's hockey.
Oh, true.
Other than that, yes, there could be some pretty big man babies in the world of sports. But then also, the sports fan base is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like there's like fandoms for everything. It could be probably the same, but like there are grown men who will like legit cry because their quarterback didn't score them 1 point for them to win $50.
I do love the idea of gym bros and sport bros, right? All these people are basically like Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, how could you do that? Living in a world of fantasy and just like using your characters and your brain to imagine, and then they'll play fantasy football. And I'm like, my dude, you're halfway there.
Oh, why don't you just go and live the game? Just go out there and play it.
But yeah, like it's seriously one of those things where like you're halfway there. It's not exactly D&D, but you're halfway. You're imagining what they're gonna do, how good somebody's gonna be going. You're analyzing their stats, remembering numbers. Like, oh, they've won 3 times against this person, so it's like they've got to be able to do this. And I'm like, dude, just remember Constitution. You know, like, come on, it's not that like it's not that bad. There's There's even D&D, not really D&D, but like fantasy football, where it's a football game where you play as fantasy. Baby. Yeah.
And I love Blood Bowl. That shit's so fucking funny.
I'm like, how do we get the general public of like sports people to play those games so we can use it as a gateway game for D&D?
A gateway game.
A gateway game.
I think we have it. I think fantasy football is a gateway game for D&D.
You know what we need to do? You have an overarching person that has stats, right? An overarching thing. So it's actually like a fantasy football where you are playing as a character with a certain race, maybe, where you get certain more points or benefits based on what you do. And then you do your fantasy football stuff. But when you win, you gain like maybe, there's a mythic item drop if you win this. There's gold. So then you can play.
A raid. It's a fucking so raid good. Versus Tom Brady.
Exactly.
Because I know in D&D the Goliaths have like they call it goat ball, and it's dodgeball.
It's just dodgeball.
It's just dodgeball. It's fantasy dodgeball.
Like that's just Goliaths, and like this is out of the book D&D.
Yeah, this is like actually there is a rule set for what they call goat ball, and goat ball in D&D is basically just goat ball is a team sport similar to dodgeball that's played by Goliaths. It uses a furry, misshaped ball made of stuffed goat hide, and also requires a dozen or more elevated platforms. So think of like dodgeball, but with the terrain.
Oh, okay.
I
kind of like that.
So like, there it is. That? Yeah, let's play some.
Let's play some goat ball. Is there any single like last little comments or sayings you wanna say?
Let's see. If you guys haven't done it yet, do it. It's a little inspirational quote.
I mean, you heard it.
You haven't done it yet. Do it.
For productive things. Nothing bad at all.
If it makes you happy, do it.
I mean, it's something.
If we're implying that it could be something bad, then they'll take it. That could be a lawsuit. But if we just keep it positive, whatever makes you happy, man.
So long as you're having happy. So long as you're having happy and you're doing it, you should have already done it.
You should have already done it.
I think that's our slogan. You should have already done it.
You should have already done it.
If you're thinking about doing it, you should have already done it.
If you're thinking about doing it, you're too late.
It's over. You missed your chance. You'll never get her back. She's gone forever. Oh, God. She'll never take you back now.
She'll never take you back, and she has the kids. It's time to wake up. The accident wasn't your fault.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, Ethan.
Wake up.
We're here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. Wake up. Alright, I think we're good. I hope everybody has a good day and a good week, and we'll see you next time.
Well, wait, what's goodbye in Japanese?
What?
Nothing. Get us out of here.
Alright.